Hey guys, it's your girl, Crystal Nicole. So if you guys don't remember, back in February 23, 2022, it was a very interesting day for social media. There was a court hearing concerning Tory's case, and it was discovered that Tory's DNA had not been found on the weapon, or it was inconclusive on the weapon. Now, before anyone had a chance to truly absorb that information, Megan and her team, Nancy Dillon, hopped on social media to immediately deny those claims and accuse DJ Academics of receiving information from Tory's attorneys, and they claimed that no DNA had been talked about at that hearing for him to have that information and that it was all false. So DJ Academics had defended himself, saying that he saw the court document himself and he had gotten it from Roc Nation. Tory's attorney had denied that they ever sent DJ Academics any information related to the DNA, but they had received information concerning the DNA that was in favor of Tory. So Megan then decided to send a text message from Tory to the blogs of Tory apologizing for something. Again, he never apologizes for shooting her, just about something he did that night. Tory responded with, he apologized for getting caught smashing two best friends, but it was crazy how Megan was spinning it. Now, all three had admitted to what Tory did that night that he was apologizing for. Only Megan tried to deny that this had anything to do with what happened that night, when it was exactly what caused everything to happen. Kylie's house was just a match. Tory sparked and lit the flame in the car. Now, we heard from Kelsey that Tory had been trying to turn Kelsey against Megan in the car after Megan had forced Tory to leave Kylie's house. He was mad and they got in the car arguing. Tory started saying to Megan to let Kelsey know what type of fake friend that she was, which got Kelsey's attention. She wanted to know why Megan was fake, and that's when Tory revealed that him and Megan had been sleeping together behind her back. Kelsey responded by saying that, well, this wasn't the first time Megan had backdoored her over a guy. Then she started bringing up all the other men Megan had or was sleeping with, such as the baby, who had just been with Megan the night before. So this definitely caused the argument to escalate in the car, as there were a lot of Megan's secrets being revealed, and she was in the spotlight. This is when this catfight between Megan and Kelsey occurs, and Tory does not intervene in it until shots were fired, according to the witness, Sean Kelly. Now, I'm sure Tory did not expect this fight to go this way. He probably thought they were just going to fight it out and then he would take them home and let them finish there. But things took a drastic turn when one of the ladies got to shooting and Megan got hurt. Now, he told police on the scene that he had just been trying to protect his girl, something Megan had her team go online and denounce was true when Tory's lawyer said that all he did was try to protect his girl that night, which he considered Megan at the time, sort of. With the story we have, it looks like that's exactly what he had been doing when those shots went off, which explains the gunshot residue found on him and Kelsey. One was shooting and the other one was trying to stop it. And that's exactly what the witness told police that night and on the stand. Albeit on the stand, his testimony changed just a little bit. The one thing that he always maintained, however, was that those flashes started with the girls. Now we have Tory saying that they had a new expert run the DNA again, and this time it came back negative, 100%, not just inconclusive here and negative over there, which the DA tried to argue heavily at trial to try and tell the jury that just because his DNA was inconclusive doesn't mean it wasn't there, and he could not be excluded as having shot the weapon. They claimed that DNA was not always a smoking gun. Sometimes it leads to something, sometimes it doesn't. And here it was inconclusive, and that doesn't create reasonable doubt in itself. The most foolish argument I have ever. Anyway, that argument falls apart when it comes back that his DNA was 100% not found, but they were able to find other DNA on the weapon, like female DNA. What's interesting to me is how Little that part regarding women DNA being present when they tested the gun was not reported. I can barely find an article about it, just the Shade Room and some bloggers and maybe 2 little articles about it, but that's all. What happened to that broad reporting? Anyway, the prosecution had to have something to provide as evidence as they didn't have much to work with. The only thing that they built this case off of was a phone call and a text message of Tory apologizing, but not for shooting Megan. So that doesn't make that evidence, more so speculation, since he's already said what he was apologizing for. And what he was apologizing for, all 3 individuals have admitted to actually happened. The prosecution literally had no other evidence that he did this. Their main witness, Megan, lied. Their witness for court, who was supposed to show up for Megan, Justin, and point the finger at Tory, went missing. They had to send SWAT after him just for him to come to trial, and then they leaked his nude since he didn't testify. Their excuse for why they did not test Kelsey's DNA was because they claimed they figured they already had their prime suspect, and there was no need to test anyone else. And I'd like to know how they came to that conclusion when they had, let's just go with number 1 here, an eyewitness who gave them a completely separate account than Megan. 2, they had evidence photos that matched the eyewitness version of events of Kelsey all beat up and Megan in the ambulance with a huge knot on her forehead, plus the evidence they picked up off the ground of a fight, like those acrylic nails and Kelsey's necklace with her name on it. 3, the female who started the fight also tested positive for gunshot residue. 4, Megan lied to them initially, then changed her story. 5, she only admitted to arguing with Kelsey to police at the hospital. 6, her and Kelsey immediately stopped talking after this. Kelsey never even got to see Megan at the hospital. 7, they found the weapon on the passenger floor of the car under some Louis Vuitton bags that Megan denied was hers, where both her and Kelsey were fighting when shots were fired from one of the females, according to the witness. 8, those shots did not come from inside of the car, where Tory still was, according to that same witness, when they were first fired. So for Tory, all we got is he tested positive for gunshot residue, but negative for DNA on the gun. 2, Tory was sitting in the passenger seat after the shots were fired, but had been in the back during. 3, Tory made an apology from jail, but we didn't find out about what until February. And it wasn't for shooting anyone. It was for causing the girls to fight intentionally. 4, he sent an apology text to Megan, again, never saying that he shot her or why he was apologizing. We found that out in February when he said, I got caught smashing 2 best friends. That's what I apologize for. 5, that's all we got. We don't have nothing else. There is absolutely no excuse for never testing Kelsey when they had more than enough evidence plus eyewitness testimony that placed her as the aggressor that night to do so. And if that's their honest reason, there really should be an investigation done into the entire Justice Department in LA, because that doesn't make any sense. What they're saying is that they wanted him to be guilty, so they made it happen by dismissing anything that made Tory look innocent, which is exactly what he's saying right now. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the math here. An apology phone call and a text message without admitting to shooting anybody trumped all of that extra evidence that you had that pointed fingers at Kelsey? I'm just confused. Then they claim that his DNA not being found is not reasonable doubt. Like, I think a lot of people would consider his DNA not being found on that weapon, but others were, including female, would be more than enough doubt that he did anything to Megan, especially if we add in all of her lies, all of Kelsey's lies, and then we add in what the eyewitness said, plus we add in those evidence photos of all of these beat up marks on Kelsey and Megan, the acrylic nails found on the ground, Kelsey's necklace that she lied about in her diss track that Megan just couldn't help but to bring up as a shot to Kelsey for someone who didn't know or admit to Kelsey even getting her ass whooped that night by either her or Tory. I mean, come on now. Not a single person took that stand and gave the same story that Megan gave about that night. Nobody. She had no witnesses come in her defense. She fell out with everybody, her stylist, security, her best friend, Kylie, etc. But yet somehow she still believed. At this point, people only believe her because they want to, or because they just hate Tory, but not because there's been a single thing presented to back up her claims. All they can do is make short and bald jokes thinking that things like this is funny. But it's not funny messing with an innocent man's life just so you won't look like a fool. Now all of a sudden lies are accepted as long as they keep your belief intact. If Tory had been caught in as many lies as Megan has, I would understand why anybody would be trying to throw the book at him, but he hasn't. He literally only said that he was innocent and Megan wasn't being honest. Where exactly is the lie? Megan and her team consistently use political figures and the media to push the narrative that she wanted. She cried to us all the time about this situation while he was silenced immediately after this DNA information was being reported by DJ Academics. They lied to us multiple times and tried to shut down bloggers who had the nerve to tell the truth, where they only wanted to spin a lie. Funny how in Megan's new interview, everything that she in fact did all over social media, she is now trying to accuse Tory of. She has a pattern of behavior that keeps giving her away. That's what happens when you have absolutely no accountability in a situation that you created by not just taking your ass home when he sent you away without him. Now, with that being said, that's all I really have to say on this situation. Tory said that he would be releasing more things up until May 1st that exposes the DA, the office, everything that they did to get this false-ass guilty verdict for him. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what else they have to present forward. They still have not filed their supplemental motion, and I'm assuming that may come in by May 1st since the DA only has, 2 days to respond to it, which is odd. I don't know why they only have 2 days, but it is what it is. Everybody just wants to quickly get this over with. And with everything I'm seeing, I do not see how the judge cannot grant a new trial. And if he doesn't grant a new trial, I don't see how he can possibly sentence Tory to any type of heavy time with the non-evidence that he has to work with to even give a sentencing in the first place. So with that being said, I want to thank all of those who tuned into this video. I want to send a special shout out to all of those who stayed around until the end of the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.